So I just woke up, thought I was having a bad dream, but I'm not sure. S-Works Crux just been launched this morning.
I want to phone Peter.
Oh.
Peter, which of these words means wickedness?
What the fuck's going on?
What's the second one?
I believe the audience also went with that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. 50% said that.
I'll go B.
Final answer.
Final answer.
What the fuck's going on?
It's wrong, it's wrong.
It's not wrong. You just won £32,000.
All right, mate, the next voice here will be Dave's. He'll tell you the question. There are still 4 possible answers.
David, ¿qué pasa con el vídeo? So yeah, $12,000 for this. Maybe it's not a dream. Maybe you have to do a little chat about this.
Now, I bloody hate doing videos like this, but I felt so compelled to get these thoughts down before I move on and forget this bike forever. But this morning I woke up, thought I was having a bad dream, and saw this new Specialized Crux be launched. It's their cyclocross / gravel bike. I don't really know how it fits in their range. It seems to be a bit confusing in that respect. But before we get onto the price, which could make up another video all on its own of this bike, I've gone through some of the marketing material on the Specialized website, and yes, if you're just about to eat your breakfast, I don't recommend you doing the same, because I do feel slightly vomitous now and pretty angry at the day. But anyway, I had a quick look to see what they were saying, to give them a fair stab at this, and apparently it's taken them 100,000 iterations, frame iterations in their simulation, in their optimization algorithm, to get to this kind of frame shape. Yes, a round tubed carbon bike. Just like a Tarmac SL4 from many, many years ago. We seem to be going back, like in the whole industry, we seem to be going back in time and just charging more for it because basically we've run out of ideas. 100,000 iterations for this. What were they feeding in to the optimization simulation? A chicken and a combine harvester? Or was it just written really badly that it took 100,000 iterations to come out of that? And what's worse, and this is specifically damaging to Specialized, is that their lead engineer, some guy called Peter Denk, apparently had a eureka moment when designing the Athos that, oh, frame shape, tube geometry, second moment of area is more important than carbon fibre layup and carbon fibre properties. How is that a eureka moment? That is year 1 of mechanical engineering. If it's taken you until 2019, 2020 to figure that out, I mean, you don't even have to figure it out. That's been in engineering since day 1. Tube shape is way more important in terms of stiffness and flex and whatever than changing material properties. Even going from aluminium to carbon fibre, you can influence the stiffness way more with tube shape, so a big diameter round tube. I mean, hell, I even did a bloody basic layman's explanation of second moment of area a couple of years ago. Link to that somewhere on the screen. But that shouldn't be a eureka moment. The fact that they're marketing that as a eureka moment, what does that say about their engineers? I mean, they should know that after year 1 of engineering school. It's just ridiculous. Don't use that for marketing. It makes you look stupid. That's actually pretty damaging. Now, the next thing is they seem to be like charging money for tyre clearance. They keep going on about tyre clearance. And it almost seems to be one of the justifications for the whopping price tag, which is $12,000 US. But that's kind of like, when you're designing a car and you know it needs to fit a family of 5, that's basically like the car maker saying, oh, we made this have 3 seats on the back bench. You can now take your 3rd child and he won't be left at home playing Warhammer or whatever the kids play, Warcraft. You know, that's just a given. That's a set of design parameters that need to go in at the start. Don't keep banging on about that in marketing, that the car can fit 5 kids instead of 4, or this bike can fit 47mm tyres instead of 33mm tyres. It's just part of the design envelope. Don't keep going on about that, saying it's got massive tyre clearance. Yeah, it's a cyclocross bike. It needs to have massive tyre clearance. Don't even mention it in the marketing, and don't even try and justify the price tag because you've given it some more clearance on the drawing. That's all you need to do, is adjust the CAD, adjust the drawing to give it clearance. Don't keep going on about that. This might be the highest margin bicycle ever made today. I mean, Specialized do keep surprising us. Oh my God. But for a bike with round tubes, a single bloody chainring and no hardware, Like, you can't even put fenders on this. You can't put any clip-on bags. There's no extra bottle bosses. There's no extra mounts. It's just a single chainring round tube carbon bike for 12,000 US dollars. And yeah, we can do the price breakdown and work out their margin. And yes, I have OEM SRAM prices in front of me. But even if you were to build this up at retail, so if you wanted to go and pay retail for all these parts on your own, think how much cash you'd have left over. I mean, you wouldn't, because they gouge you for the price of the frame. I think the price of the frame alone is 5,500 US dollars for that. Like, I actually can't, well, I pity anyone that buys this with their own money. I pity their stupidity, please. Now, the other thing is, yes, it is impressively light, but if you take into account that it's basically a road frame with round tubes with bigger tyre clearance, it's still very light. But to get the weight down, even though it has those round tubes, they must be using higher modulus carbon fibres. We know that higher modulus carbon fibres inherently aren't as tough and they aren't as strong. So being a gravel bike or a cyclocross bike, this bike should be designed to take a couple of knocks. And I just have a glaring suspicion that it's got too many high modulus fibres in it. I have a glaring suspicion that it's got too many high modulus fibres in it, and it will be fragile because those high mod frames do not like impact and they do not like being dropped. They don't like hitting rocks. And yeah, I don't think it's a gravel bike or a cyclocross bike, really, when you take that into account. So what is it? It's an Athos with big tyres with a huge price tag. I mean, when I look at my Santa Cruz mountain bike, which has many 50 or so pieces of hardware in the linkage, it has suspension, it has valves in there, it has oil in there, it has many bearings in the linkage. I mean, look, Matt just looks, mountain bikes look like great value. And it's a Santa Cruz. It's a very expensive bike. I mean, what? I don't know how long Specialized is going to play this game of being ridiculous, but at some point it's going to stop because, let's be honest, bicycle development has stopped pretty hard over the last 10 years. Nothing really has changed apart from disc brakes going on to road bikes. Let's face it. But the prices are still going up, and that can't keep happening. At some point, there has to be a change in either one of those. There has to be a very big development in bikes to justify the price rises, or the companies are going to have to start charging less, because I can't believe they will sell this at this price. Anyway, I hate making these type of videos, but until the bike industry stops pissing me off, they'll keep coming. Cheers, see you in the next one.